As I look upon my life, there's a passion inside. Heaven knows I'm living my dreams. As I look upon my life, there's a passion inside. Heaven knows I'm living my dream.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Yay, man, it's Thursday morning, and it's a beautiful morning. We are alive, our eyes are shining, and we are thankful that we are this side of the grave. So yes, man, thank you so much. You guys can tune in. You know how we roll on a Thursday morning. You are on the Inside Show with none other than Talk With Joan Thursdays. And yes, I have beautiful people in the house this morning. You know we are busy with Motherhood, right? And we are actually busy not only Motherhood, but Motherhood in the ministry of Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? And so there's legacies that normally comes from the ministry from one generation to the other. And so we again this morning have beautiful people in the house that actually are also in ministry, guys. And so we just want to thank you guys for coming this morning. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence here this morning. So yes, beloved, if you did not subscribe yet, come on now, hit that bell and let it begin, because you are on the Inside Show. So we actually, if you don't have your mirror, just take out your mirror, man, and let us ask the same question. You know, if you watched last week, the same question. Describe the character in the Bible that best describes you. Right? So that is for the mirror. Mirror, mirror, mirror. Who am I? Actually, yeah. In the Bible. So yes, girlfriends and boyfriends, I want you just to actually think about that. As my guest, I'm going to give Leanne, as the host also of the show with me, just to say hi to you guys, and then we're going to go to our guests.
Hello, Insights family. As usual, we are here with another great installment with Talk With Joan Thursdays. Thank you for being with us. Continue to share this message. Happy Mother's Day. Happy belated Mother's Day to all our moms. I hope that you were spoiled tons and loads from all those that you care for and love for. We want to continue to honor moms this month, and we are very excited to have two very special ladies in the studio today. And they are special because they are commenters, and they are Insights fans, and they are regulars. So we have great appreciation for them. And today we have them on this side of the airwaves. So thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. And we're looking forward to having this conversation with you. I was teasing them earlier and telling them they are like lifelike twins.
That's true.
They're going to have to deal with themselves this morning. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
You guys can greet as well.
Come on. Good morning, I'm Eileen Peilman. It's so lovely to be here with Joan and Leanne once again. Yes, it's true what they say. We are here live this morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Normally we're just on the comment, but it's so nice to be here once again. Thank you.
Well, good morning, Insights family. I am Micheline, my mom's lookalike. I shared with Leanne this morning that I had a little bit of nerves coming in because I'm so used to being behind the scenes commenting, but I'm so gracious for the opportunity to be with my mom this morning and just to share on our relationship as well. So thank you, Leanne and Joan, for having us this morning.
Well, thank you for being here. It's nice to have you in the studio with us and not saying hi, reading your comments. Yeah. But yes, a good morning to everybody who tuned in this morning. So if you have your mirror, let us go to mirror, mirror. So what character in the Bible am I?
Well, last week you were Jochebed.
Last week I was Jochebed, guys. And I love that woman. Ooh, with all my heart. You see JJ. So it's all in the J's.
And who are we going to be today?
Today, I think I want to be Esther today. Today, I want to really be Esther because I see that my nation is in need, and I am really trusting God for that. Esther actually had someone that she relied on who actually sent the messages to her to say, girlfriend, you are not in that kingdom just for mahala, right? You are there for a reason. Your nation is at stake, girl. So come on, you're going to have to do something. And then I think that was the purpose of Esther being in the kingdom of God. In the palace for that time. So I'm in the kingdom of God, and I know that this burden is upon me to actually save my nation. I know we only have us guys, and that is why if I look around me and I see the need that is enormous, and sometimes it feels like you don't have hands, but in prayer, Esther called a 3-day fast and pray with everybody, and that is exactly what it is. So that is where I feel I can actually latch on to for today, that I'm standing in the gap for my nation.
I like that.
Yes.
And who are you ladies today?
So if I look in the mirror, Leanne, the lady that stands strongly out for me is definitely Hannah. I think where I find myself, the journey that I'm on, Hannah was provoked. She was challenged in her faith. There were many things that were against her.
Yeah.
But she remained steadfast. And she knew, she was trusting God for her baby. And nothing was
That's
going to
true,
stop
yeah.
her. She remained faithful. And once she got what she asked God for, she made a vow to God and she stayed committed to that vow. So whenever I think of myself or I look at myself, I really see the faith that Anna had in me. So I would say
Amen.
definitely Anna.
Sure.
That's awesome.
That's beautiful.
If I see myself this morning, I once again believe that I'm a Esther because I see the favor that Esther had. I have that favor upon myself. Because whenever God put favor on you, on me as myself, I feel whatever I need in life, I get.
Yeah.
And that is because of the favor that was placed on. I also believe that I'm a seer, that I see things that was blessed, see blessed things, see things that's sometimes not so blessed, because it's not always to have those eyes as a seer on yourself, where you see certain things on other people. But because of the favor that's on you, God always make things happen. Whatever I need in life, I get because of the favor. That's what I believe this morning.
Oh,
That's wonderful.
it is. I enjoy that because I like the interpretations that people get from that. I think we
Yes.
should carry on doing this for a while, Pastor.
Yeah, I love it.
For me, last week I was Mary Magdalene. This week, I think I'd like to contemplate Abigail.
Oh, nice one.
And the reason for her is because, she was married to a foolish man.
Yes.
A very foolish man. And she herself was a very wealthy and distinguished woman.
Yes.
And so you see that there is immediately a difference in the types of energy, in types of yoking almost.
Yes.
And you see that she had enough reason to act a fool herself.
That's correct.
She had enough reason to behave in a way that was unbecoming
Yes.
of who she truly was. And for me, I respect and admire the discipline that she had as a
Yes.
person and as a woman to retain her actual personality.
That's correct,
Her
yes.
actual position, her
Yes.
actual, and how she used wisdom
Yeah,
to
that was a
circ-
very
Yeah.
wise woman.
to circumvent some very serious issues.
Absolutely so.
And she averted serious destruction
Yes.
upon her house because of that.
Yes.
And I just thought that it takes a lot of sensibility, but more than
Sure.
that, it takes discipline and it takes self-restraint.
Yeah, it
Yes.
does, it
And
does.
I think that we can't forget that our strength lies in God. But here we see that Abigail managed to activate all those things inside of her
Yes.
without becoming worldly. And that is a lesson I think that we can learn in this day and age.
Absolutely so.
There's a way that
Yeah.
we act out nowadays
Yes.
as women, but look at
Yes.
Abigail. She was such a regal person, and she
Yes.
managed to stay
Yes.
that way in the face of so much adversity. So she definitely has my contemplation today.
Yeah, she actually also saved her family, guys. You
Yes.
know,
And
going,
how with
going before
strategy
with
and-
strategy and,
yes,
plan.
yes.
You know, she knew that, listen, yeah, if I'm gonna
Depend.
not do something
Yeah.
and go along with a foolish man, I will not be able to save my people, you know,
Yes,
my
yes.
family per
Yes.
se.
And she wasn't
So
even arrogant.
she
and she
wasn't.
didn't flaunt it.
She
just did
wasn't.
it.
Yeah, she just acted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's an attribute that stands out.
Yes.
That
That's the-
you know, it really does, and that's why I also like her. I was going to talk about on Friday, but then I said no. So that is for who are you guys? Come on now, speak to us there. Who do you think, if you think about where you're at in your life today, there's always someone in the Bible, you know, who speaks to you.
Yeah.
That characteristics
Yes.
of someone in the word
Yeah.
that actually reflects you.
Yeah.
And you can always go back to that person and say, you know what, so what did this person do in
Yeah.
that
Yes.
situation and in that situation? So that is actually where you can also find direction.
Yes.
That's how God gives direction to you, you know, just by reflecting on someone in the Word.
Yeah.
That's why it's important to actually read the Word and understand what you are reading, because in today's life, that is of importance, guys. It's vitally important, if I may put it that way.
Yes.
Because we are not just living as we used to live those years. No, we are living in very serious times at the moment. So it's very, very serious to understand that, listen, the Word reflects what is happening now. It speaks to us.
Yes.
So it's important for us to understand that. So every day, be encouraged, take the Word, read something, and learn something. Right? So I want to ask Pastor Eileen, you are in ministry. How long are you in ministry now? And your church is, your church's name, you are married to a very handsome pastor, apostle.
Yes.
So if you can tell me, how long are you in ministry, and so on?
We in ministry we're gonna be
15 years.
15 years, but we come on longer than that. But as a church, we 15 years old, which is called World Changers Church in Florida. Yes, church is growing day by day. We believe in structure. We believe to disciple people. We also do connecting. And that's what we are out in Florida.
Right, so that's in Florida for you guys. Who lives in Florida? Come on now, it's time to go to church.
Amen.
Sorry.
Ja, a frog is in haar throat. There's a frog in my throat.
No, but it's nice to hear about who you guys are and where you've
15
been.
years,
15 years,
15
yeah.
years, yes.
And I mean, we're equally grateful to have Micheline there, who's along with you now. So
Yes.
your story has become her story.
Yep. So yes, like my mom shared, we are 15 years in ministry. I always say I didn't grow up with pastors, purely because my parents weren't pastors at the time, but also to see how they've evolved and how God has allowed us as a family to evolve is so amazing. It also made me want to serve better in my stewardship, because I see the sacrifices that my parents had to make along the way. So I've been ordained 2 years now as a pastor. Ministry is tough. It makes, I shared with Leanne that, I wear my heart on my sleeve. So ministry will teach you that you can't always do that. You have to have discernment. You have to understand that some people are only seasonal, and that God will take you through situations just to strengthen you. And I think that's where I find myself now. I love the background.
Oh, yeah.
That's my comfort zone. But God will, throw you in the deep end, where there's times where you have to come out
That's
of your
true.
comfort zone.
That's
You
true.
have to do things that maybe challenges you, but when you look back, you're like, okay, wow, I learned this in doing that. And I think church is such a amazing platform to do that, because it allows you to be stretched. It allows you, to dig deeper. Like Joan was sharing, you have to read the word. And I think the mistake sometimes that people make is you think you can just show up and that's it. But God will challenge you in being in the word. And that's been, I think, because my parents are pastors, it's allowed me to grow deeper in my walk with God.
That's so good. I'm just thinking of this dynamic that we often see with the pastor and the pastor's children. So sometimes there's
Yeah.
a difficult relationship that emerges because pastors' kids become kind of adversarial towards their parents' sacrifice and calling and difficulty. But yeah, we have a different dynamic. So
Yeah,
I think we
different,
see
yes.
all sorts and all
That's
shapes.
correct,
Joe?
yeah.
So what is nice about you is that there was something that was admirable about your mother and father's walk, which
100%.
inspired you instead of deterred you. And that we don't often see.
Yeah.
And so that's good. So it's like, 15 years in ministry, and you also yourself have now found a space and a calling and a platform in ministry.
100%.
So I would say that's a good and beautiful transition.
Absolutely so. Very true. So, Pastor Eileen, in ministry, how does it feel to be a godly woman all the time?
For
Let's
me,
first ask, are you a godly?
Yes, all the time.
That's why I emphasize all the time.
yes, I try to be a godly mother all the time. I believe for me to be a godly mother is an honor. It's the grace that's on you that God gives to you, where you can people. There's a lot of people out there that never had a mother, and you, as that spiritual godly mother, are there to love them with the experience they never had before in life.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think I really try my best utmost to always love and give love. I also give direction, correction.
Yes.
Some people that knows me in church, they will know me. I wish I don't have to say that, but they know me with a face. They say, oh, when mom have that face, they know something went wrong. But I really, with the grace of God, I just want to love people. And that's my heart, just to
And
love them.
sometimes there's people that you just can't just love.
Yes, and I think, that's when
them
the face comes
Yeah.
out. Yes, because some of them need that kind of face.
Yeah.
But behind that, I still love you.
They still love, yes.
still love.
They still love.
That's, for me, it's really an honor to love people that don't experience
That's
the
so
mother
that's
love.
so encouraging, Eileen. And you know what's interesting for me is that you immediately went to mothering, and you spoke about the church.
Wow.
So that was the first thing that you do. So I think you perhaps take that role and responsibility quite quite seriously, which is good because sometimes, mothering is not a natural inclination for everybody.
Yeah, no,
Some
true.
people are like awkward mothers,
Yeah.
but it seems like you are just a natural mother. It's like, come here, let me mother you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me smother you with love.
Yes.
And that's nice. But in your personal life, you do have two daughters,
Yes.
Colleen and Micheline. Hey, it rhymes. I never noticed till I just
Yes.
said
It's
it.
very much
Eileen,
planned.
Colleen, and
It's
Micheline.
the
It was
Ian,
very
it's the
planned.
Ian, it's the Ian.
Planned.
And we also have Miguel,
yes.
who is your son. So
Yes.
you've got a lot of mothering to do there.
Yes.
In the ministry. And how have you felt that? How have you felt the distinction between a mothering and a pastor mother? I asked Joan this question as well. How have you enjoyed the differences?
I think for me, because like I shared, my mother wasn't always Pastor Eileen.
Yes,
Growing
yes.
up, it was easy to, and my parents have always made a balance very easy for me.
Yeah.
But also I know the same with my mom. She's also likes the background, and God pulls her every now and again. So it's nice to see how God is using her, because it is then an example for me.
Yeah.
It's taken me out of my shell, because I also want my mom to feel comfortable in the role that God has placed on her. But I see it and I love it, because I see myself a lot in my mother. When she's nervous, she laughs. When she has said things like this the night before, she phones you 1,000,000 times. Are you okay? Did you go through the notes? And I'm like so calm, and I'm like, okay, but now my mother's nervousness falls on me. Then I'm like, should I have checked the notes a little bit more? But it's been interesting to see, because I think my mother, I wish she could see her through my eyes, because she's got such a beautiful spirit that people just latch on. She can be so real, and I think that's what we need in mothers and in those that are, pastors and mothering a church. They want someone real. They want someone that they can relate to. And my mother is someone that once you've come under her wing, she treats you like she would treat me and Carls and
Yeah.
Megs. Some people can handle it, some can't, because my mother's also the strict one.
Yeah.
Growing up.
Yeah, and
Well,
actually you have to be. You
yes.
have to be like that.
Yeah.
Yes. And even growing up, Joan, like my mother was the strict aunt, so all the cousins were like scared to come to my mother, but now they love my mother, because the strictness has also molded and shaped us in the
Yes,
children that,
yes.
we've become, and now women in
Yeah,
our own
kept them on
families.
the
Yes.
on the straight road.
Yes.
Straight and narrow, yeah.
Sure.
That's I would pay money to hear your mother's Becky voice.
No,
Wow.
you don't have to pay much. You don't have to pay much.
Yeah. You know what?
Does she
Micheline-
shout? Does she
Yeah,
shout?
she does.
No, she
Oh.
must. She must.
she
Joan.
does,
She's got-
but
she's the
Joan-
strict aunt.
She really does. But I think because we're very much the same. So even growing up, I think my mother and I would lock heads a lot, because we're so similar. We
Yeah.
get excited quickly for nothing.
And we shout with tears that come
Yeah,
out.
with one
And
of
then I hate it. Yeah, so
when
we
we're
can
happy,
cry.
we cry. When we're sad, we cry. When we're upset, we cry. But what I love about us
You
is
guys are actually fun.
no, no, not when we're shouting. But it's something that we've learned, and
Yeah.
I think what I love about our relationship, my mom and I are people that when we not happy about something, we like to deal with it then and there.
And then
So
it's
we
finished.
address it. We're a little bit louder than the ordinary voices, but after that we forgave each other, we move on, and we laugh about it later on. So
Oh.
yeah, it doesn't take my mother much to get.
I'm an easy person when it comes to forgiveness. I can forgive and forget. So in the family, I used to actually stop them and say, stop sending the children to me I must now correct
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Because they grow up with that, this is the strict aunt.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I actually say, no, man, don't do that. But like Micheline's been saying, because they're all grown up now, most of them, and most of them, I can say all of them, both sides. I think I'm the aunt that I love.
Oh wow. But they
But
can
they
relate to
also
now.
know they can relate to me. They can speak to me. They will
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
bring that whatever they
nice.
can't discuss with somebody else.
Yeah.
They will come to me. So I'm grateful for that.
Wonderful.
That was quite insightful. Thank you,
I
ladies.
like that. I like it.
And I appreciate that because it's like, that's an aspect of my personality, your personality, but it's not everything about you. And that's good because you don't want to be pigeonholed and always,
Yes.
because there's a time for discipline.
Yes.
Yes.
And there's a time for that. But then it's like,
believe
no,
that.
I don't want the kids to just see me through this one
Yes.
filter.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
And it's the
believe
same
that.
thing. It's the same thing
Yes.
like leading a family and a congregation. I don't want to
Yeah.
be typecast as a matter of expression.
Yes.
I want you to see there are other aspects to
Yes.
me
Of
as
me,
well.
yes,
I
yeah.
shout, but I love.
Yes.
Yeah.
I shout, but I laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really had that. I had to actually tell them.
Yeah, deliberately.
Yes. Don't, whenever they naughty, they must go to Auntie Eileen. No.
Yeah.
Auntie Eileen is also a love auntie.
Yeah.
And that's really, even their children now, they loves me, and then I'm like shocked because I don't really, because I can be strict. When you're naughty, you're naughty.
Yeah.
That's
you can
me.
call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remind me of myself.
I didn't know
They
that you
think
were
I'm strict. Not that strict. But yeah, there's certain things that you grow up with, Michelin, that you admire your mother for who she is and the characteristics that she brings to the table.
Yes.
What will you take over? What can you think about that is in your mother that you would love
to
to keep?
I think the fact that I mentioned my mother has a very strong spirit of discernment. She sees you for who you are, and sometimes I think I'm a little bit blinded by that. I want to just see the best in people, and it hurts sometimes, but I admire that about my mother, because even though she sees it, she still loves you through it. My mother is also someone that gets excited for the smallest of things. And I think that's something that I would like to take over for me one day when I have my children, because you always feel celebrated.
That's right.
It can be something as small or something really big, but my mother will, make a noise and she'll be excited. She'll remind you, oh, I'm so proud of you. And I think as a child and a daughter, that's what you would want. Regardless of everybody else, you want to know that your parents are proud of you. And another thing that I'll take from my mom is that my mother always wants the best for us as her children. She will sacrifice herself to make sure that we have. And I think, growing up, that was something that when you're younger, you don't really see
That's
the
correct,
sacrifice.
yes.
You just know you have it. And then growing up, you realize, okay, but life is hard. How did
Yeah.
I get to where I am now? And I think you realize then it's the sacrifices that your parents have made for you to be there. So that's definitely something that I will take. And also how my mother honors her husband, my dad. I think that has made me the wife that I am to my husband, because my mother's very bar for my father. Which, my father's a guy to be bar for, he's a good husband. But sometimes I'm like, really, Eileen?
Yeah. It's like it's been a while, Eileen.
Like 34 years.
You didn't even need to do that, but I think it's something, Pastor Joan, that I take for me, and I see that, even the husband that I chose is very close to who my dad is. They are a day apart in birthday.
Wow.
So it's easy for me to look at how my mother honors her husband, and I see how I can honor my
Yeah,
husband. So
beautiful.
that's things that I definitely
That's
look
beautiful.
It
That's
is.
a good characteristic
Yes.
to take, to
It
watch your
is.
mom.
My guy.
Yeah.
Just continue being barred for your
yeah.
husband. And that's going to help you in life. Hey, Joan.
That's true. That's true. So how do you actually take it when your guy is a little bit upset and things happened in ministry, because it does.
Yes.
Ministry is not easy. It's not easy because you work with different types of people.
Yeah.
Different attitudes, different backgrounds, and different ages. Yeah, so it's a diverse place.
Yeah, it
honestly
definitely is.
speaking. So sometimes they get hurt. And many times don't show it, but you as the woman, you pick up that something's not right. So how do you help him through that stages?
So my husband can be very quiet, but when something's bothering him, he is so quiet, and then he gets like he sits with his laptop and the Bible on the one side, and he doesn't talk to you for that few, and he doesn't.
He doesn't engage
Yeah,
at all.
and then I know something is
Yeah,
going,
something's bothering him.
is going on here. Then we leave him for some time until he's ready. And when he's ready, I will speak to him, and then I will ask, so what happened? And then he will tell me. And then I'll ask, so why did you go quiet, and why did you not talk about it? Then he will explain to me the reason why he first had to think and ask God, how do we deal with this?
Yeah.
And once he's ready to talk, he will tell me, and then I will say my say. So I will have a different
Perspective.
I will be the hard one, not in front of the person maybe, but I will be very disappointed and very heartbreaking for my husband, because I will think, how can you dishonor this good guy that's praying for you every day on your name? I know what I'm talking about, because I hear it.
Yeah, that's right.
So, and then I think to myself, yes, if this person just knew, does he have somebody that calls his name for God to open doors for him, for contracts, whatever his thing is? And that's how I will, and then I will speak like that, and he will say to me, don't, he will put me down, he will calm me down, and he will say, God knows. That person won't have to know, but God knows, and God will deal with it.
Yeah.
And then after a few days or so, we will talk about it again, or something else will happen, and then he will say, can you remember what happened that day or that month, few months ago, and can you see how things change? So I learned to listen to him, and if I need to bring it out and shout and scream, I do that, but he will say, Eileen, don't worry, man. God will see. God will bring this thing back where it's supposed to be. We just have to be different out there and be positive and believe that
Now,
God will change things.
Yeah. Now, sometimes our husbands in ministry have their own visions, right? And they want to run with the vision the way they see it, and sometimes it is like you on the other side. You just feel like, calm down, man. Ons gaan daar kom. Maar at least ons is ook hier so, you know. We so many times they don't see it. They just want the things to happen just like that. How do you navigate your journey or your way through to him when he is so bombarded and so in the thing, man? He's so in the thing. And many times they make decisions that you as the woman feel, no,
I wouldn't have made that.
that's not right.
Yeah.
You also in the pastoring at the moment.
Yes.
So there's certain things that men have that we as women, we can see. It's like almost like, nah, man, that thing's not gonna work. You know,
Yes.
but you must have a way to actually say it.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
bring it across.
Yes.
So what would you guys think is the best way in that? Because these are all pastors sitting here. So what do you think is the best way to actually speak to the man?
I think for me, I've learned that timing is everything. And my dad always says, because Proverbs speaks about how soft words turn away wrath. So I know we get excited, and then that blocks out everything you're trying to say. But if you've got the right timing and you use soft words, I think that it makes a big difference. My dad loves a cup of tea, so once you've got the tea and the biscuits ready and then you have the conversation, it's a lot easier. But what I admire is that as a family, because we're in this together, we've also allowed conversations,
Okay.
I'm thinking about this, what do you think?
Yeah.
Are you comfortable for us to do it like this, or what different approach would you like us to take?
Right.
Sometimes it's during the day and we're all on a conference call. Sometimes it's after a church meeting, then you still have the family meeting. But my parents and my dad in particular is always very inclusive, because I think he knows and understands that we also have the heart of God, and we
Yeah.
want to see the church prosper, and we want to run with the vision that we believe.
Yeah, but can I be real? No?
Yes.
Can I be real?
Yes.
You just want to be nice.
Yeah.
But can I be real? If you see that this thing is nay guy, you are actually pushing this, and I can see it's not gonna work. So many times you wanna have. I don't know about you guys, but me, I say. Nee.
This is
Angel,
not gonna
die
work.
ding gaan nie werk nie.
Yeah.
This thing is not, it's not going to work. Or this. No, wrong person, wrong.
Wrong timing.
It's wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And many times we want to keep, and afterwards then we say, that was me. Afterwards you want to say,
Ek het gesê.
maar ek het mos gesê.
Yeah.
Ek het
Ek het
gesien,
dit-
ek het gesê.
Ek het die ding lang al gesien.
So we as a church and a family, I will say, as a family, the church it came afterwards as a church. Was it November? November, last year November, we as a family, then the church came in, went through something at the church. And this thing, I could see how this thing is eating my husband. And I felt sorry for him. And I said to Mish, we need to bring the church into, the pastors and elders into this. Daddy can't suffer with this thing alone by himself. And I didn't say anything to him, because if I had to tell him beforehand, he would have said, no. I'll do that. The people is busy. Yes, the people is busy, but they're your pastors and elders, so they need to assist you with this. So we were at a meeting, and I brought this matter out. And I'm not that kind of person, because I will first hear what my husband say. But with this, I felt he can't take this load by himself or with us. We need the help. And I brought this issue out, and this thing became lighter.
Yeah.
Because certain things they were doing now, and he could do other things.
Yeah.
And I said to him, it's a gesin. You see?
Yeah.
I told you, don't carry things alone by yourself. And so I agree with you, Joan, where you say, sometimes you cannot just sit back and see how your husband is doing and things by himself, or suffering, or want to do. It's not
Yeah.
that in his mind, he's okay. But you as the family and
You
you
see.
see what he's
Yeah.
going through.
Yeah.
No,
So
it's
I
true.
do really, when I can see I can help and to assist or get help in, I do that. Because it's not, because when you come home, who is getting the tough times? You, as a family.
Yeah, because you're closest.
Yes.
Yeah.
We get
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, no, I think in answering that, that's a good question, because it's a real ministerial
It's real,
challenge.
yeah.
And in answering that, I think all of you have expressed such such positions of wisdom, and it's funny that we chose the types of women that we wanted to channel.
Yeah.
In terms of Esther, If you
Yeah.
look at her issue
Yeah.
was standing up to the king
Yes.
for a nation.
Yes.
So it was an impossible task for
Yes.
her.
Yeah.
And so you see
Absolutely.
her position. Then Micheline alluded to the fact that, go make some nice tea and be
Yeah.
quiet about it.
Yeah.
And that's what Esther did. She courted her husband. She
Yeah.
made him dinner, and when she spoke about this difficult issue.
Yeah.
So there is
And
wisdom
she
in it.
dressed herself up.
She
Good.
dressed
Yes, there's nothing like a little bit of soap and
yeah.
lipstick.
And perfume and whatever.
Yes, but then Joan is also speaking about there are some things that need a bit more, serious intervention or
Yeah.
some serious work. And it is there. It's like, the position of a woman is one of support, but it is also one of partnership.
Yes.
It is also one of mutual representation.
Yes.
And it is also one where, their voice and their needs shouldn't be minimized to the extent where it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because like you say, Eileen, you at home, you take responsibility for the feelings
Yeah.
and the somberness,
Yes.
and you take responsibility for those things. So you can't also be expected to suffer in silence. And what I also appreciate is the fact that you said I had to speak to the elders and the leaders, because the truth is that it is our burden to carry.
Yes.
And if you think about all those ways that you manage to deal with it, those are scriptural points of departure, because you the Jethro principle. You have the leaders to make this lighter. Your partner in life, your Ezekenegdo, your helpmeet, your wife, you are supposed to be one, and you're supposed to be of the same mindset. So I do see that. I think in the conversation there is a lot of channeling
Yeah.
of that. Because ministry is tough,
Yes.
and it's tough, and seasonally, I think you can go through different sense of toughness.
Yes.
But what I can say and what I have learned is that when me and my husband are on the same page,
Yeah.
Things go smooth.
things go smoothly.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
Things
true.
actually fly.
That's
Yeah.
very true.
So now when you
That's so
you
true.
enter into disagreement and disunity,
Yes.
believe me, nothing works.
Yeah.
And I
Unity
think-
is power,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
No, it is.
Yeah.
It
if
is.
you are in unity, things just, it's like miracles happen.
Yeah.
Honestly
Yeah.
speaking.
Yes.
And I think that is so profound in ministry
Yes.
for a couple to stand united.
Yeah.
Irrespective of what is happening
Yes.
around them, just to be in agreement,
Yes.
because there's power in agreement.
Yeah.
And I think that is sometimes very difficult, especially if the man have a different mindset, in the sense of, no, but I see it this way and you see it that way. But if you come to mutual agreement, you'll
Yes.
see that sometimes I've learned in ministry that, listen, if my husband don't see what I see, I leave it. I leave it, let it go. And then, as we said, ek het gesien. ek het het gesien, but we're still in it. So where to from now?
Yeah.
That is very important.
Yes.
But not to be rebellious in the
Yes.
situation.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But to try and come back and keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
So now there are certain things like, how do you, the two of you, mother and daughter, how do you encourage mutual respect and understanding between the two of you, especially if you don't agree on something, or you like this and your mom don't like that? How do you still, or in the ministry, there's someone that your mother see, no man, is bietjie nie lekker nie.
You use
and
your
you say,
seer
and you
abilities.
say, yeah, and you say, but mommy don't do A, B, and C. So just be real on that, right? How do you keep the mutual respect between the two of you in that relationship?
Just before you answer the question, I'm just thinking, Joan, last week we had Sonia
Sonia
and
and-
Jade,
Yeah,
and they are completely different people.
yeah.
But with you guys,
Yous are the same.
Yous are the same. So it's going to be very interesting to hear your response
Yeah,
on this.
yeah.
For me, because we're the same,
Yes.
it can be sometimes difficult, because I have to really count 1 to 3
Yeah.
before I answer to Micheline, or bring this issue down to her, because she can quickly answer if I don't have it really calm myself down, and then I have to speak to her and understand her, what it is, and listen to her. For me, I really need to listen to Micheline before I respond.
Okay.
And that's really the
Yeah,
truth
yeah.
with me and her. I sometimes I just want before I just wanted to tell Micheline, why are you not opening your eyes and see this for what it is?
Yeah.
And then we will have this. But now, because I'm a grown up,
Wow.
even if I must say that, you learn things.
Yeah, but that's
you
true.
really learn things. You don't do things like you used to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So, and
true.
I also had to say to myself, Micheline is a married woman.
She's also a grown-up
Yes, she's a
Yes,
grown-up person.
yes.
I can't speak like I used to speak
Yes.
and tell her.
Yeah.
So I
Even
really-
if she's your child.
Even
Yeah.
if she's
You can't
my
pull
child.
her by the ears
But she's
anymore.
an
Yes.
elderly woman on her
She
own.
is, she is.
Yeah.
And really, I had to bring that to myself as Eileen.
Yeah.
And then I listened to her.
Yeah.
And now I think, I actually think she comes more to me now than
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Because before, she used to go to a dad
Yeah.
and speaks to him. You get jealous a little, but
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, because
then-
I'm here.
Yes, I'm also here. But I learned
Yeah.
it's because you don't listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, Proverbs.
Yeah.
Proverbs can speak loud and clear to you.
Very true.
So we have a belief to read and write it down
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
And I learned to listen to them.
Yeah.
Even Colin, I listen and then I respond on
Yeah.
what I need to,
Yeah.
on that question. Joan, that's what I do.
That
Don't know
is.
from her
That was so lovely to listen to, and I'll tell you
Yeah.
why. Because you had to grow and evolve as a person, and you had to make the transition between adulting, rearing
Which
a
is
child,
so important.
and respecting an adult, and that
Yeah.
can be very difficult, and you
It's
can
very
blur the lines.
important, yeah.
But I also found it curious because your husband is a very quiet man. And you don't find
so
it
he
difficult.
looks.
Yes.
You know,
And you don't find it difficult to deal with it. And I mean, when you speak about when he goes into his quiet spaces, that takes a lot of patience.
Yes.
So I don't know if your temperaments balance each other out, and then you get Micheline, who is your mini me, and it's like, now I have to deal with
And I think
myself.
Colleen is a father.
Colleen is a father.
Yeah.
Colleen
Yeah.
is really high up here. She's a deep thinker. She can tell you the straight answer.
Yeah, yeah.
Me and Micheline will go the soft way, but she's not hard, but she's really
She's
she's
firm.
very
Direct,
firm.
very
Yes,
direct.
that's, yeah.
Yeah.
She's
So-
a leader.
Yes. So,
Definitely.
but Mish and me, with Colin, in that same question, I also had to really had boundaries down with Colin because Colin is those person, if she needs to study, she want quietness around her. No disturb. You will see on a room, busy with this, don't disturb.
Yeah.
whatever. Those kind of things. So I really had to put myself and learn, listen.
Yeah.
As if you want respect, they also want respect.
Absolutely so.
So that's what I really do with it. And my quiet husband, not that he's quiet as is, he's just take things easier than what I do take things.
Yeah.
I will get excited and I will scream and I will cry if I'm upset. But
Yeah.
I calm down a lot. But he will tell you in a nice way, Eileen, this is not how you do things. You do things this way.
Yeah.
And remember, where we are, you have to be different.
Yeah.
Even if you don't want to be different, God wants us to be different.
Yeah, because you were in the corporate world for very
Yes,
long
and I
when
can
he was.
scream if I'm
So
upset.
yeah,
Yes.
so
And in
so it's
sales.
different.
And I was
It's
in
different to
sales,
just
eh?
come in.
So
now
we
you see,
fight
Very
for that.
passionate, very
Yeah.
passionate
For
people.
that
Yes,
deal, and if
that's
you
right.
don't make your target,
that's right.
you know. So
Yeah.
I have that in me. So, but
I'm
I'm
learning.
learning.
Yeah,
Mish?
because it's not so long that you are in full time though.
Yes, not so long.
Yeah. So and you, Mish?
I think for me, exactly what my mother said. You know, I also think when I moved out, when I got married and I moved out, that also brought a better understanding of how to respect each other. I think because we were in each other's faces all the
All the time, yeah.
and we're the same. But then when I got married, I started to appreciate my mother, I would say, a lot more. And I think also how I would speak, because as though we're the same, our approach is very different. My mother's very straightforward. I'm not a child or a daughter. I can't always do this. So I can write a letter, I can send a message. Because if I speak, I cry, and then I feel like it interferes with
Yeah.
what I'm trying to
Yes,
actually get
that's
across to
right.
you. So I'm somebody, that's why I admired Lady Sonia and her daughter, because they
Yeah.
also had letters, and I could relate completely,
Yeah.
because that's who I am. If I can't do it face to face, below and behold, there's a long WhatsApp coming, where I want to share what's on my heart.
Yeah.
Because once it's off, then I know, okay,
That's
the person
right,
knows how
yes.
I feel. I can move on. I can, learn and go from there. So I think, though we're the same, our approach is very different,
Different,
but
yeah.
we've learned to respect. This is how my
other.
mother deals with it. This is how I deal with it, and vice versa.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man.
It
Because
is.
it is the mutual respect is always something that you
Yes.
and it's a learning process. Because you can, as toddlers, you can actually speak to from up there to down there,
Yes.
and they just have to listen
Yes.
and obey your commands.
Yes.
But if someone has grown, if your children's grown up now, you have to change approach.
Yes.
And I think that is so important for us to actually change
Yes,
approach
yes.
and that is in ministry the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You grow with these people. And I think every leader need to also learn that listen, in the beginning I was there for you. I did A, B, and C. We drank milk, I gave you the bottle, but now as you are growing older, you must now eat meat.
Yes.
And so I think that is also important even in ministry.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. You can't speak down on people because you have to actually have that mutual respect,
Yeah.
that comes from the individual and from you.
Yeah.
So it's that thing. That's why in parenting, I see that if you don't respect children, children will not respect you.
So
And
Yeah.
many times you find that you do find children that is disrespectful because they're disrespectful to their mother.
Yeah.
So where do you fit in?
Yes.
When it comes to church.
Yeah.
So it's a very different ball game
Yes.
altogether.
Yes.
Lee, are you going to go through those ladies?
Yes,
All
we-
those comments.
To
there?
all our listeners, we're excited to have you online, and thank you for sharing. We're just gonna acknowledge the guys that are online. Tixera Murray, hi there, all the way from Dubai. Well,
Yes,
greetings to you
my
too. Amina Peterson, good morning, Pastor Joan, and welcome to my sister, Pastor Eileen, and my beautiful niece, Pastor Mishi. Amina Peterson. Violet George, good morning, Joan, and all the beautiful ladies. Violet is watching. Well,
Wow.
it says.
What time is it by you now, girlfriend?
wow.
No, but this is Violet George.
Oh,
my
other
sister.
Violet. Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Bronwyn van Heerden, good morning, Pastor Joe, and a shout out to my spiritual mom, senior pastor, Eileen Peilman. People are very cautious to observe protocol here on this chat, I see. We have Bronwyn van Heerden, a shout out to Pastor Mishi, Libby Weemers, good morning, Pastor Joan, Lee, Anne, and the beautiful guests, Mr. Davis, good morning to my mom, Pastor Eileen, and good morning to my sister, Pastor Mish. Mr. David, good morning, Pastor Joan. It's very serious chat group, this. We have on Thanello, Sabinda, good morning, Mom, and Pastor Mish. Odette Basan, good morning, ladies. Pastor Joan and your beautiful guests. A very special hi to Pastor Eileen, my beautiful sister-in-law, and my amazing niece, Pastor Micheline, Pastor Leanne. Hi. Colin James, good to connect. Special warm greetings to Pastor Eileen and Pastor Micheline. Ursula Solomons, good morning, Pastor Joan. Ursula Solomons, good morning, our beautiful pastors Eileen and Michi. Ursula Solomons, please say hello to me also.
Shame, I'll tell
That's
her.
my mom's sister.
No, I'm just teasing. Callista Evanthea Joseph. Good morning, my mum and my beautiful sister, Pastor Mishi. Bernice Boysons, good morning, woman of God. Callista Evanthea, such a beautiful example of a mother and a daughter and a display of the love of God. Tixera Murray, my beautiful auntie, I'm her favorite. Ne, Eileen. Excalibur. Tejera Murray, what a beautiful conversation. Just some love from Callista. A beautiful display of mother and daughter relationships from Othanello. Amina, again, beautiful conversations with you guys are so awesome. I'm laughing lekker. So a lot of love from our listeners today. We appreciate that. Simon Merkel, some love again there. Callista, some love. Colin James, knowing Pastor Eileen's sisters, Violet and Pastor Amina, they radiate such love and joy and peace. When I met Pastor Eileen, it was a multiplication of the warmness of a mother. And I
Wow,
think
beautiful.
that's what I was saying to you about the fact that in answering the question, you immediately went to how you mother everyone else. You know, the first response would be how you mother
Yeah.
your kids, but yours
Yeah.
was like broader. And I think there's something to be said about this. Simon Merkel, thank you for loving us the way you do, Mom. Violet George, so awesome, my sister lekker dag. Tashira Murray, Colin, how beautiful to acknowledge this. My mothers are God sent. Whew, guys, all the love here. It's very, very gracious. And let's get there. We are so grateful to our dad and mom. We do not take it for granted, your covering and your prayers. Odette Basson, Apostle Mervyn and Pastor Eileen, a match made in heaven. My brother, Apostle Mervyn, is a very, very, very wise man. Proverbs man. His wisdom has shaped me in many ways. Odette again, Mom Eileen and daughter Mishi, 2 Proverbs 31 women. I thank God for them. Couldn't agree more, Simone Merkel says. Proverbs 31 woman, Mom and Mishi. And and then it's just some more from Tajera Murray, so good. Odette. Just talking about Pastor Mervyn, and then Trevor Gerard Davis. Good morning, beautiful ladies, and topic. And Mr. Davids, we are blessed to be under the covering of our mom and dad. So that's beautiful, because I think your guys have come on and support, and they probably just echo what we can experience in studio. Is that this very warm?
But
and
listen
sincere
what Sonia
connection.
says, man. Sonia says,
I didn't see Sonia. Where is she? Where are we?
nee,
Yeah.
nee. Hi, Wenna.
What?
I throw out the whole pram with all the toys in it, lol. I love to talk and have conversation about issues.
Yes.
Okay. The drama.
So yeah, you see, because that's personality-wise,
Yes,
no?
yeah.
Personality plays a vital role how you respond,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's in your personality
Yes.
that you actually respond
Yes.
towards something differently, totally differently.
Yes.
If your personality is a little bit out there,
Yeah.
you're gonna be out there. So you're gonna
Yeah.
expect someone to
Yes.
be
But
out
don't you think
there.
so, having said that, don't you think that after Eileen has described her type of personality, excitable, both of them have admitted they are excitable people. But don't you find it so interesting that she manages to be a perfect companion for someone who is opposite to her?
Who's quiet.
Yes, who's
Yeah.
quiet and deals with things differently. I mean,
Yeah.
for me, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it was restraint or mutual respect, or if you respect that he is one way, so you can be another, and then you guys fill in deficits. So, or not deficits, but I mean differences. So what was it?
And
Because
I think it's also the way you were brought up those years in the church, because she was also brought up in,
Yeah, I
in
was
the
brought
church.
up very strictly.
yeah,
My mother, as a single parent,
yeah,
were very, in my own words, I will always say, very excited when there's a pastor coming around. Very respect-wise.
okay.
She will like clean from the gate up to the,
Okay,
and
so
make
that
sure.
makes sense because it's
Yeah.
the reverence.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
Micheline
Yeah.
says she's barred
Yeah.
for her husband.
Yeah,
so,
but
so I can appreciate that
yes,
now. Yes,
but now you must know, I never
Yeah.
knew we're gonna be pastors one day.
yeah,
So when we grew up, when I came from, he always say, when I came to him,
yeah,
when I came to Johannesburg, and when we met,
Yeah.
he just gave his heart to God in that same year,
yeah.
but he became so changed.
Okay, so the change was instant and
Yes,
apparent.
and it started really meant when he gave his heart to God, started reading the Bible, even took the Bible to work.
Yeah,
But I just fell in love for the person he
was becoming.
yes.
Okay.
But without knowing one day he will go to Bible school. But in the church we were together,
Yeah.
he was used a lot. We
Very
became
involved.
the
Is this your husband?
Yes.
So was he in Cape Town?
No, he's from
Yeah.
Johannesburg. No,
Yeah, but
I
you were
came
in
from
Cape Town.
From Cape Town to
Okay,
Joburg.
okay.
So we came to the church where they belong to.
Oh, I see.
And we met basically at church in their house.
Okay.
We always say at their house. Because his mother used to invite us for lunch and whatever, my family. But with that said, I actually saw him in church and I said to myself,
Yeah.
I like this guy. I mean, I
Yes.
knew in
What
where
you
I got
wanted,
that,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I liked him, and I mean,
Yeah, and
History
just so
is made.
happened, yeah,
Yeah.
because you saw something in him.
Turns out you were
Yeah,
right.
that's
yeah.
it. Yeah, and
and
you
I mean,
were.
Micheline was at school. Oh no, at crèche, no?
Yeah.
School and crèche when he went to Bible school. So we were long together alone. I mean, Bible
Okay.
school was Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
Saturday I went to work. He sat with the books and he had to look after her. So that's our life. On a Sunday we go to church, and we were always. I mean, even now we
In the work of God.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's wonderful. But and now being, I'm sure you're going to be the follow-up with your husband, right?
Yes.
In the ministry, just like
Yes.
we did.
Yes.
So, what is it that you would want to change that you can't do it now because your parents are still there? What is it that you want to change that you see would work
In the church.
in the church?
What is the passion of your generation?
Yeah, that type of thing.
I think we're slowly getting there, but I think people like to connect. They like to come around. They like to visit. They like to social. So I think for us, that's what we try to bring into the house. More connecting around just each other. It doesn't have to be a service. It doesn't have to be a meeting, but just fellowship. And I think that's the art that me and Miguel have. We love fellowshipping.
Okay.
They love people around him.
Yeah. So I think that's the difference I would do now already.
Do you think it will be possible
I
if the
think
church
so.
grows?
I think so. I think we have to multiply.
I
say
wish I
much.
could say the same.
If the church grows,
It's
yeah,
it's a different ball game. Yeah.
So Pastor Joan, that's a different. You see, can you pick up? Micheline loves,
Yeah.
and she's that kind of person. She loves people, and that's. I
like
always
it?
have to remind her, don't love so deep. So deep. I love my church. I love my people.
Just
But
caution, that's what
yes.
you
Yeah,
do.
because you know the pain
Because
that goes
the
with
pain
it. Yeah, afterwards.
It's,
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, and that's how she is. She loves deeply, deeply.
Because people can really tramp in your heart, if I may put it that
Yeah.
way. They can hurt deeply, and it's difficult then. As I always say, that's how my trust is broken. Because I allowed people so close, I loved them so deep, and then surprise. So it just shows you how you grow into it. You know, you grow into it. So I'm at the position or at the stage of my life where I can just look at you guys and admire you and pray for you and say, this is
the
Lord,
terrain. Yeah.
give them wisdom, give
Yeah.
them insight, because I'm at the position where I can just look at everybody and dis maar hoe dit is in die lewe. But I like it because I'm at a lekker place in my life.
She makes me so jealous.
Oh, glory to God, hallelujah. Yay, guys, I came on a very long way, so I
Yes,
think for
yes,
now and you know you somehow just twitch in your mind that okay, there's younger people, there's another generation,
Yes.
they need to do whatever, they must serve their generation. I did my dues, I did everything that I could,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, but I'm still there,
Yes.
still mothering.
Yes.
Yes.
They say you will you will never be able to not mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A mother
Is a
stays a
mother
mother,
forever.
irrespective of how old she is.
Yes.
And that is what it is. So I just want to take the opportunity to thank you guys. We came to the end of our show, and we just really, truly appreciate you guys. If you have last comments, if you can just last comments, guys, and then we say ta-ta.
Okay. Thank you, Hannah and Esther.
Wow,
It
thanks,
was
Emma.
lovely. It was lovely having you here. Thank you for giving us insight into your dynamic. Thank you for doing it all smiles and honestly. We appreciate that very much. Thank you also, I think, from both Joan and I, for always just being there as a support on the Inside Show. In the
Yes,
comments.
thank you so much.
We look out for you guys and we appreciate you. And it was really fun, I think, more than anything for me. So
Very nice.
love and blessings to you both.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Leanne and Joan, for having us. It was really an honor again to come and sit here. For me, the topic was good to talk about. There's sometimes you don't realize things unless you talk about
Yeah,
it.
that's true.
So today I really appreciate again my girls that I have in church and my own daughters. So thank you for having one eye opening again for me. Thank you.
I think for me, definitely such a highlight because I admire Pastor Joan. Please, if I can say Pastor Joan and Pastor Lee, and I know, my Thursdays are not the same if I don't get to watch the two of you. So to be invited in something that you look at, that is such an example to us, and to partake in it today is definitely a highlight for me. So thank you for considering my mom and I. I think it was so much easier because I had you here, Eileen. It was just a nice conversation to have, and I think we walk away with just loving each other more.
Oh, yes.
And it's been such a phenomenal topic also, just seeing other mother and daughter relationships, because
Yes.
we get
Yeah.
to learn from them and see how we can implement it in our relationship.
true.
So very honored. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, we came to the end of our show. What an awesome show. And we just want to say thank you for tuning in. We really do appreciate you. We love you. God loves you best. Go in the peace of the Lord and take care. Mwah.
In the shade, as I look upon my life, in the shade, there's a passion inside. Heaven knows I'm living my dream. In the shade, as I look upon my life, in the shade, there's a passion inside. Heaven knows I'm living my